Hey guys, Zennosh here, and today in this video of Exos Heroes, it's time to review our beloved Fate Core April. Yes, you heard me right, ladies and gentlemen. Brace yourself for a new unit, and she is a gold-rated Fate Core hero unit, and let's see if her new skill sets are gonna be quite helpful in the current meta contents or not. Alright, so let's get this started. Looking into her artwork, she looks like a lowly character, not a waifu material in my opinion though, but damn, is she not cute? Alright, she's pretty cute, she's pretty amazing in my opinion as well. Anyways, now let's start talking about the details about this new banner. First of all, guys, I'm actually taking the help of the Discord channel this time in order to look into the details of Fate Core April, because the details are yet not out in the in-game content so far, so I don't know why is that. But anyways, I would really love to give a very good shout out to this amazing guy known as the Kaio Kerlex times 10. Alright, so shout out to him. Now let's start talking about the notice right over here. Fate Core chance increase Millennial Star April recruit. Period is going to be starting after the maintenance, that is going to be tomorrow Thursday till January 21st Thursday 2021 AM 1:59 UTC time. So that's going to be a total of 7 days of time period, or let's say 1 week of time. Main hero, you can recruit hero plus Fate Core with a higher probability than premium recruitment, as she is a gold Fate Core hero unit. She's going to drop at a chance of 0.5% chance. Alright, and you can get her for free after 28 Molder summons from her banner if you really want to pity her. So if you want to do that, you gotta be prepared with 19,600 cess in order to pity summon her, alright? And that is it, guys. And now it's time to start talking about her skills. It should really worth the hype, alright? Okay, let's get started. Passive effect right over here, it says First Aid Tube. It says, grants heal 100% of attack to an ally if they take damage and their health falls below 20%. I would say in Zennosh battle, it's a really good skill indeed. If your ally is at near that situation, there is always going to be some assassins out there, like let's say Fate Core Baraka, or let's say Fate Core Jin, who is going to give that finishing blow to your ally and to wrap up the stuff, alright? But in that case, what's going to happen is that First Aid 2 is just going to be triggering before those skills out there, like finishing a hit, and at that time it's going to provide some extra heal or recovery to your ally, and that ally can have now ability to sustain the incoming damage from the assassins like Fate Core Jin and Fate Core Baraka, and that can be really good stuff out there in the Zennosh battle. Life in that situation, guys. Gains mana 1 mana if on health is at 20% or less when triggered. Extra ways of gaining mana, really cool. And now it's time to start talking about the new skill effects that has been added onto the passive effect list of our Fate Core April. It says Sound Fever, the first one. Mark effect increases attack speed of all back row allies by 5 if any living or dead enemies are disheartened at the start of turn. Resets upon moving to the next wave. Alright, so what it says that like the enemies needs to be disheartened at the start of the turn. This disheartened is the synergy effect provided by the Raquel against the opponents who has lower attack stats compared to him. Alright, so you really need to have Raquel in your team for her to be effective in terms of Sound Fever. And all the back row allies will be gaining plus 5 attack speed. So back row allies refer to the attack type hero units, like let's say attack type, and the chaos type like the Dorka, Raquel, Bathory, Rera, and so on and on. Alright, these are the allies who are going to get that plus 5 attack speed. But if you're asking me, is this plus 5 attack speed really a huge stuff? And I would say not really. It's a good thing, but not really something to hype about. Okay, it's like, okay, because comparing to other hero units like let's say Fate Core Genai, right? The attack speed boost is so significantly low, alright, because Genai can actually make attack speed gap between the allies and the opponents by up to 70 points, I guess, if I'm not wrong, alright? And that's a lot of gap indeed. So considering that stuff, guys, man, this is so low indeed. This is so low. If you really want to oppress, or let's say to outweigh your opponents in terms of attack speed, try to have Fate Core Genai in your team. That's gonna be much better. Sound Fever, it's like, okay, let's have it. Not something to hype about indeed. Next is gonna be the Encore Stays. Okay, this one is really cool indeed. Look at it. All heals 100% health to all allies upon dying. So even if she's going to die, she is gonna be of some use out there, just like the Fate Core Emma. Alright, so that is so cool indeed. I like it. I like it. Definitely is going to be a really good addition to this style meta. I mean, like, if you can actually provide that healing right off the bat for all the allies, I mean, like, even if you're dying tank units like let's say Fate Core Tantala or Fate Core Ulum will actually come back to some really good health. Alright, so that is so good. I would say let's take it. Alright, fan service right over here, guys. Overtime effect. disheartened front row enemies receive 40% increased damage, and all damage against the targets are applied as the piercing damage. This is freaking huge in my opinion. Listen to me, guys, alright? First of all, guys, you need to dishearten the front row enemies for this to actually work. And it's actually so easy indeed, alright? The case is that the Raquel, who is the attack unit, needs to have higher attack stats compared to the front row enemies, who usually are going to be either the defensive unit or the support unit, right? Like, let's say Ulum and that Talia or Fedco Tantalo. So there we go, guys. And it's quite easy to apply dishearten effect on those front row enemies, alright? Because Raquel is an attack unit and he definitely is going to be superior in terms of attack stats compared to those units out there. And in that case, those front row enemies are gonna be receiving 40% increased damage from all the allies you have got in the team, alright? And that is so freaking awesome. Really freaking awesome, man. Because like the stall meta has become a really big pain in the ass, because like it's so hard to one-shot KO them, okay, to just kill them in just one shot. It has been a really big deal indeed, and that's why the stall meta has been in the meta content. But now there is a way in order to deal some extra heavy damage against them, because it's not just a 40% increased damage against those front row opponents like Fedco Tantala, alright? It's that on bonus, all the damage against the targets are applied as piercing damage as well. So far as I know, it's like something about 25% reduction in defense for the opponents. That's all I know, alright? Because the piercing damage is pretty much still in Veil. All we can do is just to guess around, and I think the best, like this discussion that has been done so far is that the piercing effect actually ignores 25% of the defense of the opponent. If I'm wrong, please do let me know in the comment section below. But if you really know like what is piercing indeed, let me know in the comment section below. I would be really happy to know about it. All right, so that's all I know about the piercing effect, and that is pretty good. That's pretty good. That means like, anyways, whatever the effect is, you are going to deal some heavy extra damage out there as well. 40% increased damage plus piercing damage. That's so cool against the front row enemies, and that can be quite helpful in order to counter the current meta. And when we are talking about the dishearten effect, there is a very amazing combo of Fate Core Jeon and Raquel with the dishearten effect out there. Fate Core Jeon, whenever he is killing a disheartened enemy, he always gets a turn reset. Yes, you heard me right. He can actually go in a killing spree as long as he can kill his targets, alright? Even if a single enemy is dead, because he has some AoE skills as well. And that means like, if he's just managed to kill even a single enemy out there with his skill, he's definitely going to get an extra turn, and that can be really cool out there. And with this effect right away, our Fate Core Jeon is actually going to have much easier time in killing them off right away. It's gonna have so much amazing time to bully off the opponents out there, even if they are in the front row, even if they are front row enemies like Fedco Tantalo, Fedco Gar, Fedco Ulum, and so on and on. It's still gonna be too good. Think about it, the potential, man. It's so good. I would say, yeah, this could actually be a really great stuff in order to overthrow the stall meta out there. So that's good, because I just created, not created, thanks to the still sauce, we just actually came up with the still meta tier list, right? And man, that was really not a good stuff out there, man. Anyways, now let's talk about the next skill effect right over here. That's gonna be Little Star. It says special effect. At the beginning of a round, reduces received damage by 10% for each living ally except the caster, and reduces up to 40%. That's cool, meaning like if she's not going to count herself, definitely there are going to be 4 allies out there, right? And a maximum of 40%. This damage reduction is going to be applied to her as long as the allies are living. I mean, like, there are no allies dead. Definitely she is going to reduce the incoming damage by up to 40%, and that will definitely allow her to sustain in the battle even longer. And as long as she is around, man, this fan service is gonna be a great deal. I love it. This fan service, you are definitely supposed to take advantage of it. So yeah, man, she definitely allows really good offense as well as the defensibility. Just look at it. Encourage stage that heals 100% health to all allies upon dying as well. So even if she is going to die, she's going to die with a boom, alright? And that's great. Now let's start talking about our active skills and the active skill number 1 and active skill number 2. Active skill number 1, known as the Music Wave. It says it's required 4 mana. Definitely higher the mana requirement, it's going to be quite easy to channel with the signature force damage out there, right? So that's good. All deals 127% damage to all enemies, alright? And status effect afflicts the target with silence for 6 turns if the target is disheartened. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time, as far as I know, it's time to welcome a AoE silence skill. This is so cool, alright? This is so cool indeed. If you can actually silence the opponent, that opponent will not be able to cast their skill. Okay, active skill number 1 and active skill number 2. They will not be able to cast it, and they are forced to just use their auto attacks. And usually auto attacks do nothing in this game. Okay, it's literally really bad, really bad indeed. So that's what I gotta say to you guys. And silencing the opponents really good, unless there are opponents like Fate Core Iris in the team who actually is good at passively cleansing their lives. So this is also like one of the reasons why I think Fate Core Iris is actually gonna gain some extra utility, or let's say extra fan base, okay, extra users in the team in the upcoming meta out there, guys. So I would say that Fate Core Iris is going to be able to counter, or those kind of other hero units who have those passive cleanse. It's going to be a really useful units out there, because like if it's going to be the active skill type cleanse effect, then I really don't think it's going to be quite helpful, because like if your ally is going to be silenced, right, there's no way that you can actually use your skills, right? So that is it, guys. And I would say if there are no such units like Fate Core Iris in the opponent team, definitely this can actually put a humongous pressure on the opponents out there. So don't really underestimate this skill out here. So good. It's so good. Next is going to be the active skill number 2. It says it requires just 1 mana. Think about it. Having 1 mana, it's never a problem in the game, because like as long as it's your turn means 1 mana right off the bat. Meaning like you can just keep on spamming the skill over and over again. Stage star, it says effect. All heals all allies by 19% of own maximum health. Ladies and gentlemen, there we go, alright? It's a good skill which actually provides a really good health recovery. And guess what, guys? On top of that one, it cleanses as well. Cleanses all debuffs and damage over time effects on all allies. Considering the current situation, even the dot damages actually really do hurt a lot, okay? And negative status effects can actually be a really big problem indeed. And having a cleanse around is always going to be a great stuff out there, guys, alright? And now, when we are talking about the special effect right over here, this is humongous in my opinion. Heals 10% additional for each mana on the target. Like, what? Considering if the opponent, if the target ally has 10 mana, that's going to be a total of 100% health heal. 100% plus 19%, that's going to be 119% of own maximum health as the healing. That is insane. I would say if you are going to look forward for a perfect scenario where that target has the 10 mana, in that case, you are definitely going to have the highest healer, highest healing capacity or potential healer in the game right now. 119% of heal. That is insane. Really insane indeed. 119%? Come on, man. Even though there are so many players out there who are actually telling that like healing is not really a big problem in the game, I would say like still 119%, you cannot just like shake it away just like that. It's good. And even though it's not a burst effect, think about it. Even though it's not just a burst effect, it actually works really cool. Just with 1 mana requirement. That is great. The only downside to our Fate Core April is that she is very slow. I think she has only the attack speed of about 32 points, something about 32 points, and that makes her really slow unit indeed. Definitely she is going to go a little bit slower compared to other allies out there, and due to that one, she is also going to have much easier time in getting that 4 mana in order to use her first active skill. But usually if you are referring to the storm meta, you definitely want to use her active skill number 2. But even using active skill number 1 against opponents, it's definitely going to be very helpful for the storm meta as well. Why? Because like if you are actually going to disable the opponents out there for like 6 turns, that's a lot. That's a lot of turns out there, guys, okay? And opponents are nearly like useless if they are just bound to just strike with their auto attacks, alright? And that is good. That's really good. The only thing is that like C is pretty slow, and some people actually do even say that like you might actually take advantage of your Fate Core Shell in order to provide her the turn right away, so that you can actually go with that silence right off the bat against the opponents, especially if there is no Fate Core Artist or some kind of cleanser out there in the opponent team. So that's it and done, man. C is really good. So finally, if you're asking me, are you really supposed to summon for Fate Core April? And I would say, hell yeah! Yes, C is a game changer unit indeed, in my opinion. I mean, like when we are talking about this fan service with her in this passive skill effect right over here, this is huge. This is huge. The thing is that like you need to get the Fate Core Raquel and Fate Core Jeon in your team for this to work. I like magic, okay, to actually take advantage of this situation to the max. All right, you gotta have Fate Core Raquel and Fate Core Jeon, alright? And both of them can be got through the String of Creation Ray banner. Try your luck right over there, guys. And best of luck with that one. And considering all that, it's gonna be really good, especially if you have unlocked the Raquel signature force, then that is even better. That is even better. Yeah, so that's why people are really giving a very good boost. I'm like, they are actually saying that it's a very huge boost for the Lenom team, okay, for the nation of Lenom. It's very good indeed. All right, so if you guys have different opinions regarding this banner right over here, then please do let me know in the comment section below. That's all I gotta say to you guys for this unit right now. Let me know if you have different opinions, all right, insights, views, whatever that is. And that is it for today, guys, and see you guys in the next video.